odd. Okay, that's cool. That's fine. Let's just start this. Okay, so how do I copy, share, copy link? Let's just paste that into the chat. See if that works. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is get my prototype up and running. I'm going to switch to that thing, picture in picture, me at the top. So now I should have some cool background music. And I'll just talk through the demo. If anyone arrives on the stream, then put stuff in the chat, because I'm just trying to see if I can use the Twitch app on my iPad to see the chat, but it's very difficult to tell whether I'm in the right chat. It says 0 viewers, so I'm guessing there's no one there, which is fine. Okay, right, let's just have a go at just talking through this version of Node Noggin. This is not actually the working beta, this is just some screenshots that I've put together to try and talk about each screen. So on the first screen in Node Noggin, you can click Let's Play, and then you'll be able to enter your name, which is always anonymous and is a requirement, and then you type in the microcosm that you want to join or start. Remember that what you're doing there is you're creating a connection between a name and some data saved in PouchDB in sort of a JSON format, so that just means it's really simple. And then in the background there's a CouchDB that's been configured that will allow you to sync your nodes between your team. So that's kind of how it works. You can set up a CouchDB yourself, and in the beta you can actually configure the address of that CouchDB, and then you should be able to connect to it. Obviously, if you just visit my version of it, the beta of that, I've got my own CouchDB set up. The thing to remember is that the data in the background isn't like all encrypted, so if I wanted to go digging around and see what was in there, I could, but the plan would be that you would want to use your own CouchDB, and if there was one that you could use, like the one that I've set up, everything would be completely encrypted on the CouchDB side. So the only non-encrypted version would be the PouchDB stuff on your device. I hope that makes some sense. Okay, so you type in your name and what microcosm you want it to do, and then you click join, and that would take you straight into what's called collect view. So the collect view is your nodes where you can add a new node and they'll appear here, and you can just type straight into it. You can put in obviously markdown using these buttons, you can change the color of the node, you can switch it to a read view which will show it in its sort of formatted view, so if there's any images or bold or italics, they will get formatted. You can obviously discard the node, you can add in image links in markdown and obviously normal URLs, etc. And this mode is really good if you are just like listening to a presentation, or your team is discussing an idea and you just want to focus on what you want to get into the shared space without distraction. And so maybe you're discussing an idea, so you just kind of put a few together before you start to work and organize it. Under all nodes, it's the same view, works really well on mobile, but you can see everyone's nodes, so not just yours, but everyone else has contributed. Again, you can scroll through that list. If it is not your node, you obviously can't edit it, and it will always display in read mode, but you also have now an ability to upvote or emoji vote the other nodes within the stuff you've been working on. And again, you can scroll through here and you'd see all of them again in this single column view. Again, while you're in here, you can also obviously keep adding your own nodes, and also you can leave the microcosm if you want to join another one. The next view is called the stacker view. Now I haven't done a screen for that, but basically the stacker view is a endless width column, like Trello style stack, where you can just stack the cards. It's a shared stack, so when you move them around, everyone will see the same stack, and you can decide, maybe you create a card to label each stack, and so you can start to organize them in a team under your own columns. So that's the stacker view. And again, that would have a shared view of the stacks, so everyone can move everyone's cards around. You can move your own, and you can move others into these various columns. The next view we've got is a spatial view, which is a shared view again. So in this instance, of course, you can still edit your nodes as you want to, but now you've got a spatialized view where you will have all of the nodes that you've been working on with your team together in one area where you can all together move these nodes. So if I was to move this one here, everyone who's looking at the microcosm would see the same positioning and see that node move to the new position, and they could move it themselves as well. What you can also do here is, obviously you can still emoji vote, but now you can start to draw connections between the nodes. So you're clicking on these little end parts, and you can just start to draw out a connection. If there's more than one connection, then you'll get a value indicator here. That might indicate there's some strength there if more people have made the same connections. And you can also collapse the nodes into these simple shapes. So if you can move, you can resize, you can make this bigger so you can see more of the text. You can obviously use the scroll bar if the text is overset. But if you actually squeeze this down to small enough, eventually it would pop into this shape, and there you only get like the first few letters that appear there. Obviously, if we go back to like the all nodes view, the what about cart node here has all the information, because obviously it's a much bigger view, and these would also just resize the width of your device and show all of the stuff that's in there. Whereas the spatial view, you've got positioning of objects in this kind of almost unlimited canvas area, and also you can collapse the nodes into these shapes. Okay, again, just noting this is a shared view, so wherever you move these, they will move. Of course, this node here, for other viewers, they would see it in the read mode. They wouldn't have all these buttons, obviously, so they see a picture of a cat, etc. Then we've got another mode called the present mode. So in the present mode, again, we've got a shared canvas that can display all of the nodes, our nodes, other people's nodes. But what we can also do now in this view is we can connect with these arrows between nodes. So this is different to making connections. So you can see here that connection still exists. And again, it's a different spatial view. So you might arrange the ordered nodes to be at the top. It's up to us, and I can connect my nodes only. So I can make these arrows to connect my nodes, and that determines the sequence that these will follow. And then if I want to, I can click go and go into a present mode, and that will take me to a new view that only I see, obviously, that is the present mode. So here, this is this present mode. Now I might be plugged into a projector and want to switch to the present mode so I can show off these images. So you can see here, this is the first one. Obviously this is in edit mode, under go. The default is the read view. I can tell this is my node because it's got a dashed line even when it's in read. You'll see the nodes of other people's don't have a dashed line around them. So even if I am in a read view, I can tell this is mine, and of course I've still got an edit option as well. So I could put this on screen, and then when I click next, it will go through the sequence that I've specified here. Obviously everyone else can go into any other view they want to, whether it's a spatial view or into this general non-full screen go mode, and they can add nodes as a presentation is taking part. So they can also turn it into their own presentation, because if they press go, it would present from their editable ones. And again here, I can see these connections, not necessarily that I can see the connections, the order that's been made. So you can actually have multiple presentations effectively for every person on the same microcosm if you wanted to. Sleeper mode, I haven't implemented yet, but this is this research while you sleep view, which will surface interesting further areas to pursue from your microcosm. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to play back my stream just to see that it did. And so yeah, thanks again for watching.